This article here is making its way around New Zealand for good reason. Even if you're not in property, you're reading this being like, huh? What? How? Contemporaneous on sales, where an agent legally can buy a property and before settlement find another buyer to buy it at a higher price. And I've actually spoken to Rikul Prakash myself just to get his thoughts. Now I can say that the method of buying something at auction, you're 100% unconditional. The vendor got the price they want. Otherwise, they wouldn't have set that reserve. You take on the risk of that property. If you find another buyer that does not have a gun to their head to buy the property for more than what you paid for, they have every right to do that themselves. Now, this is humongously risky, especially when you're doing this in 2021, 2022, where you're buying literally at the peak, and if you could not find a buyer, you now will have to hold that property and watch it just dip in value. We all know the amount of people that bought properties in 2021 have not been able to sell them ever since, and if they did, they're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I do understand the method here of it being quite risky, but you can see big risk, big payout. The fact that they're saying that he made $5.4 million is completely wrong. They haven't taken into effect any of the other expenses that went into this transaction. When I spoke to him, he's dealing with very small margins. A lot of the comments on Facebook and the New Zealand Herald section have said that this is the reason why houses are so expensive. That is not the reason why. The reason why is because of inflation and what happened in 2020 and how the government dealt with that. That is the reason why. Inflation, money was so cheap. This is what made house prices go up. One Indian dude doing this did not control the market. Leave uncle alone. But the main thing, if we go into how, as I said, you have to go unconditional auction, have the money to pay the deposit to the vendor. Tick, they got what they wanted. Then you have to find your buyer, line up a sale and purchase agreement, disclose everything about the property, make sure that they're happy, and line up the settlements on the same day. Now this does get messy with people's emotions where they know that their house could have been sold for more, but at the end of the day, no one forced them to accept that offer. This has happened to me. I've had people buy properties from me and then go and on sell them a month later. It's annoying, but at the end of the day, I got to cash out at the time where I actually needed to. This is legal. If you had the skills to do this, and let's say New Zealand Herald wasn't exaggerating their numbers, and you had the chance to make $5.4 million doing this, wouldn't you?